People with a mental illness caught up in the criminal justice system have a range of issues. Main ones: housing, finance, medication.
When you leave prison, it's very hard to adjust to normal life because obviously you're locked up inside for ages and it's different to being on the outside world, and you've kind of thrown back in there on your own, and no housing, no money and benefits. Your medication might not be right, so it is real hard. If I hadn't been working with Havel, I probably would have been dead by now, or in prison for a very long time. I was addicted to drugs really badly, and sometimes I wouldn't leave the house. So they took me to a lot of appointments, got me moved to a new accommodation, because I was in temporary accommodation for ages, and that's what was making me worse. So they got me into a new flat away from all my drug friends and drug life, helped me get in contact with drug support workers. The help from Havel, they've helped me I'm a much better person now.
Access to Justice can also help non-mental health professionals who have difficulties trying to link in with our services. So I will be the point of contact if they've got any offenders they're working with who has a mental illness. I can also provide training, and I can show them how simple interventions can make big differences to our service users.
We predominantly help people coming out of prison or who've got a criminal record to kind of resettle back into their communities. I'd say a vast majority of our clients have got some degree of poor mental health. I think, you know, having more training for people delivering services would help with the confidence of approaching and helping others to deal with the issues they've got. This very specific service would be great. I'm thinking of one client in particular who was a young offender. He was released from custody age 21, and he wasn't on licence with probation. Now, he disclosed to me that he had heard voices, he's had conversations with friends who he thought were in the room who weren't. So he was giving me very clear symptoms that I believed he could get a diagnosis for a mental illness. But I found it very difficult to engage with the mainstream services to get this young man help. But had a service like this been in place then, I think he would have been perfect for it, and you know, it could have helped him actually and prevented him from you know, going back into the system. I definitely will be promoting with my own staff and my own team to use the service, to link in and work in partnership really to get better outcomes for those who are suffering with mental illness.
Working with families is a key part of Access to Justice. Families might not understand anything about mental illness or just think that their son, daughter has been making a deliberate lifestyle choice. What I find as well, families are often ignored, but Access to Justice recognises their importance in planning and implementing change.
My son Kevin, he's 36 and has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. I think Kevin's problem started from a really young age, and we all missed it. Along with drug taking, it's automatically you get the need for money. And then the drug problem gets worse and the need for money gets worse. And of course that was the first, shoplifting, and well, by any means he could. Which of course in the beginning we were just thought that he was bad. So that's the first time we went through like the minor court appearances and the fines and eventually probation and eventually then of course prison. When you first start thinking this isn't just bad behaviour, you try to access then services that you think are going to help. And that's what we were told. Well, he's fine, there's nothing wrong with him. He's, just put him, if you've got a shed, lock him up and see if that works. So that was our first introduction to the services that were available. The first phone call we had, we were given, I think Darren might have phoned us. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, no, this can't be right. This person giving me this information and telling me these services and what he's going to do. And we just didn't have any faith. We thought it just won't happen. It takes us maybe 10 years to pick up triggers because we work in blind. We don't know. We only pick up these triggers from it being repeated, and we learn from experience over the years. That intervention for families is, well, you can't say how important it is. without that, you can be 3, 4, 5 days planning a funeral.